Cherry Audio has taken us back to one of the first commercially available polyphonic synthesizers in the Novachord, which was originally released in 1939 from Hammond. They've also bundled with this the Solovox, which was released in 1940, also from Hammond. Now, these two synthesizers are just dripping in vintage character, but how can they fit into modern music productions? Let's find out. So I want to build a beat with both of these synthesizers and see what we can do with it. But first, let's just quickly have a look at the Novachord interface and see what it's all about. So here is the beautiful Novachord in all of its wood grain glory. And you can see it's very simply laid out here. Deep tone, first resonator, second resonator, third resonator, brilliant tone, full tone. This is your balancer up here, so this makes it brighter, and then that kind of mellows it out as it suggests. I love this because all of the settings are really titled nicely. I understand what each thing is going to do here. So you have soft bass down here, attack, volume, vibrato, which is really nice, vibrato depth, and then you have a simple reverb over here that can dial up the room, or you can go down to Hall and dial it in as much as you want. Then there's a little bit of a limiter right on the end. Very, very simple synthesizer layout. Now, up here we have our presets, and there's a lot of presets in here. You have basses, keys, pads, and strings. Lots of presets to help get you started with this. So you would just dial something in. Let's go to bass attack here. Not bad. Then we can go over here. So let's listen to some of the keys presets in here. Now, when I first heard this synth, I really thought, I'm pretty sure I've heard this in an old movie or something like that. And when I looked it up, sure enough, that's what these synths were really used for way back in the day. So if it sounds familiar, you've probably heard it in an older movie. We'll try out this balancer here. And now let's listen to the vibrato a bit. So there's the vibrato off. Go to vibrato 1. Not bad. Then we'll go to large. Now, when I heard this in older movies, I always thought that sort of warbly sound was just from the old tape, but I guess it was built right into the synthesizer, which is kind of cool. I like that old vintage sound. Now let's just have a listen to the strings real quick. Really cool. So let's start building our beat with this. And I've already started on that down here. And let's give this a listen now. So that's just a quick MIDI that I loaded in there. Let's turn on the vibrato a little bit. I like that right there. So that's our little bit of a keyboard section for our beat. And I found a drum MIDI that kind of goes with it perfectly. We'll load that up here. I think those two sound great together. Now, what I want to do is add a little bit more movement to this synth line. So I have a sidechain compressor. It's just a basic compressor that came with traction waveform. I have it sidechained from the drum beat. And let's just mute the drums so you can hear what the sidechain's doing. Now let's hear that all together. That's pretty cool right there, but now let's check out the Solovox a little bit. So here is our Solovox. It's, again, a pretty straightforward, basic little synthesizer. It's from 1940, so it's kind of what you expect. All right, and again, in here we have some presets, bunch of leads, some basses, strings, and woodwinds. So we'll just check out some basses quick. I can picture that one being used in some beats as well. Let's check out some leads here. That's not too bad. Again, it has some old sounds in this. So again, on this one, we have our brilliant first voice, second voice. You have tone for each of those: deep tone, full tone, bass, tenor, alto, soprano. You have a glide selector, so you can choose how much glide. And you have a reverb built in, your volume, attack, and release here. Very straightforward settings and a cool little vintage sound. So let's start adding this to our beat. And let's hear what we've got going on now with this added in there. That's pretty cool like that, but let's add in a bass instance of the Solovox. We'll use it for a bass, so here's what we've got going on with this. It's just to add some low end to the track, nothing too fancy. So let's add it all together. Now I'm going to add the same sidechain compressor to this bass sound so we can hear how that sounds. Just adds a little bit of movement to that bass. If we wanted to kind of blend everything together even more, we can add a little vinyl plugin onto there if we want. It's a pretty cool little beat that I put together very quickly using the two synths in this bundle. And what I really like is there's not a whole lot of faders and buttons or knobs to push. It's just a small selection of controls so you can easily dial in your sound, maybe program them to your MIDI keyboard if you want. And if you want an excellent MIDI keyboard to program this with, check out the video on the screen. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching. For Audio Tech TV, I'm Zane. Keep creating. Fist bump. Thumbs up.